Here's more wrestling news for March 5th, 2022. And your headlines for this afternoon include Steve Austin not wrestling at WrestleMania after all? Vince didn't understand that. Brock Lesnar on why he butted heads with Vince McMahon in real life. I did get a little spooked. Brock Lesnar on incident from last year that scared him. Did WWE give away major spoilers? Are Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman making their way back to WWE? Erick Redbeard shows up in AEW and gets a match at Revolution. Chris Jericho files to trademark the term sports entertainer. Fans panic after Alexa Bliss drops possible goodbye message. Bayley reacts to Vince McMahon calling Michael Cole a horrible human being. Status of Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and more. We are kicking off with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and for the past month it's been reported that the Texas Rattlesnake will wrestle at WrestleMania 38 against Kevin Owens. Austin's return would be his first match in 19 years, and despite initial reports that the match is happening, things aren't as clear anymore. In The Observer, Meltzer notes that it's not certain if this will be a match, but said the two will definitely have some kind of confrontation. If the match doesn't go ahead, then Austin will likely confront Owens for insulting Texas and presumably dispatch of the former Universal Champion with a Stone Cold Stunner. This is a big step back from the reports that a match between the two was definitely happening, but whatever the Rattlesnake does this April, we're sure it'll get a monster pop from his home state crowd. Brock Lesnar will look to make history at this year's WrestleMania when he faces Roman Reigns in their epic title unification main event on Sunday, April 3rd. One of WWE's most valuable and highest-paid superstars, Lesnar was rocketed to the top in his 2 runs with WWE, with his first coming to an end in 2004. At WrestleMania 20, Lesnar faced Goldberg, who was also leaving, and the match was panned by the audience, who considered both men sellouts for departing WWE. Speaking to Newsday this week, Lesnar spoke about his infamous first match with Goldberg, saying, "I really didn't care at the time. I just wanted to get in that ring and get the hell out of there as fast as I could because it was my last commitment to the company at the time. I was in a good spot, but in a bad spot at the same time because I wanted out of the company. I was still a young athlete and had aspirations of doing other things. At the time, WWE wasn't enough for me, and I had explained that to Vince McMahon, and we butted heads pretty hard because I had just signed a new contract back then worth quite a bit of money at the time. And so the company backed Brock Lesnar at the time, but I just wanted out. And looking back now, and Vince and I have talked about this, it's water under the bridge." Lesnar admitted that while he didn't care about things at the time, his departure worked out for the best as he would become a much bigger star outside WWE in UFC, making his 2012 return a bigger deal. "I don't think I would be as big an attraction as I am for them right now had I not left. I think the company has made their investment back a million times over because I did leave the company and I was successful when I left. I had a short stint in the NFL, did a little wrestling in Japan. Ultimately, I found my home and it was in the UFC octagon. And it fulfilled that need and that void inside of me that I was yearning for. I had to go do that. And Vince, at the time, didn't understand that. He wanted to lock his claws into me and keep me because he made an investment. We laugh about it now, and we're both having a great time. We're in a good spot in our life, and I'm enjoying the hell out of this comeback." After losing to Goldberg in 2004 and losing twice to him when they were both back in WWE, Lesnar would have to wait until 2017 before he finally slayed the WCW legend and looks to take down the Tribal Chief in 4 weeks' time. At 6'3" and 265 pounds, Lesnar is a specimen in the ring and has proven himself to be one of the company's most intimidating stars. It's hard to think of anything that could leave the Beast incarnate shaking in his cowboy boots, but during a sit-down with the Michael Kay show, Lesnar said that nothing scares him as a grown man, but then took that back. "When I was younger, as a kid, senior in high school maybe. As a grown man, no. Oh, I take it back. Last fall, I did get a little spooked by a bull moose. I got charged a little bit in the bush by a bull moose. First I got a little flustered, but then I contained myself and then I shot him." Lesnar's love of hunting is no secret, and while he's proven to be a dangerous competitor in the ring, he's somehow even more dangerous when he gets out of the ring and into the forest. Now, WrestleMania 38 is just a few weeks away, but WWE are already looking towards what comes after their biggest 2 nights of the year. Not long after WrestleMania, WWE will tour Europe, and one promotional image teases some pretty notable names. In an image promoting their April 30th show in Paris, former WWE superstars Braun Strowman and The Fiend Bray Wyatt are prominently featured, despite being released from the company nearly a year ago. Former SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley is also part of the image, and reports have stated that she is expected back on WWE TV not long after WrestleMania. We can't say for sure if this is a mistake from WWE's digital production team or if they've given away a spoiler that definitely shouldn't have leaked, but only time will tell what the future holds for these three wrestlers. What we do know is that at WrestleMania, Sasha Banks and Naomi will face WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Queen Zelina and Carmella in a match between two thrown-together teams. This week's SmackDown saw Naomi take out Carmella and celebrate with the Boss, and while all four are deserving of a WrestleMania spot, their feud and likely title change means little to nothing. WWE's interest in the women's tag team title picture ended almost as soon as the titles were introduced, and this entire program feels more like a TV feud than something reserved for the company's biggest event of the year. We especially feel for Sasha Banks, who in just 12 months has gone from one headlining WrestleMania in one of the best main events in recent history, which saw Bianca Belair coronated as the new face of the division, to having a tag match with next to no build. We understand WWE wanting to get all four women on the card, and this is probably the best way to do it, but if WWE's best method of getting the women's tag titles defended at WrestleMania is with a match few people care about, it only shows how little WWE have invested in those championships. This Sunday, AEW will host its Revolution pay-per-view, and last night's Rampage saw another match confirmed with a surprising return. On Rampage, Pac and Penta came out and said that Rey Fenix won't be able to wrestle at Revolution, but promised a third man will be on their team. The House of Black emerged and cackled at the idea of the Death Triangle's manager Alex Abrahantes being in the match, but Abrahantes was there to introduce the actual third man, Erick Redbeard. The former Eric Rowan made an immediate impression, wiping out an entire team of security guys, and perhaps he could be the difference maker when the Death Triangle face the House of Black tomorrow night. For decades, WWE has, despite the second W in their name, avoided using the term wrestling and prefers to call what they produce as sports entertainment. The sports entertainment name has always been a sore spot for fans who'd rather see WWE wrestlers instead, but now one man is looking to cash in. On February 28th, Chris Jericho filed a trademark for the term sports entertainer and did so with the aid of Michael Dawkins, AEW's go-to guy when it comes to trademarks. Jericho is set to wrestle Eddie Kingston at tomorrow night's Revolution pay-per-view, and we'll have to see if AEW's top sports entertainer can get the job done against the Mad King. Back to WWE, as well WrestleMania will see tons of superstars compete on the company's biggest stage. The show is expected to go ahead without Alexa Bliss, who will reportedly not be in any of WWE's plans until after WrestleMania. Given that Bliss only made her in-ring return last month at Elimination Chamber, this is an odd decision for WWE to make, and fans are now considering if she's going to be with the company for much longer. On Twitter, Bliss fired out a quick tweet to say that she loves all of her followers, and many took it as a sign that she plans on leaving WWE. Fans responded by asking if this was some kind of goodbye message, but Bliss hasn't clarified her initial tweet. While Bliss could be a big star in another promotion, the focus she's been given in WWE over the past few years means it's unlikely she plans on leaving, even if that means fans have to wait until after WrestleMania to see her next storyline. This week, Vince McMahon did a rare interview when he sat down with Pat McAfee and had plenty to say about the wrestling industry and one of his employees in particular. During the interview, McMahon commented that Michael Cole is a, quote, horrible human being, and while this comment seemed very tongue-in-cheek, one person is taking it seriously. On Twitter, Bayley shared a clip from the show, saying she's been telling people all along about Cole's horrible behavior. Bayley's beef with Cole during the Performance Center era was a highlight of SmackDown, and she even shaved his name into her hair for the 2021 Royal Rumble. Bayley is expected to be back on TV after WrestleMania 38, and given her comments, she's clearly not forgotten the horrible man at commentary. Now, WrestleMania usually means the return of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which has been a staple of the show since 2014. In 2020, though, the Battle Royal didn't happen at WrestleMania, as WWE wanted to keep those getting close to each other to a minimum, and 2021 saw the match happen on SmackDown instead of their biggest show of the year. Dave Meltzer reports that WWE is once again not going to host the Battle Royal at WrestleMania, and that it is instead expected to be on the March 28th Raw or the April 1st episode of SmackDown. The men may not be getting a chance at WrestleMania, but the report adds that the Women's WrestleMania Battle Royal is still expected to happen on either April 2nd or April 3rd. Typically, Battle Royals at WrestleMania were used so that more people could get to have a Mania match and Mania Payday, but we'll have to see what WWE does with these two huge matches. And we're ending with even more from next month's two-night show, as on April 3rd, WWE unified the WWE and Universal Championships, and either Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns will leave AT&T Stadium as the unquestionable top star of the company. One man who knows both superstars very well is Paul Heyman, and he, like many people, isn't sold on unifying the titles. On the Battleground podcast, Heyman explained why he's against the title-for-title match, saying, "I don't like the concept of champion versus champion. I don't like the concept of a winner-take-all. In my opinion, Roman Reigns is already the end-all, be-all. He's already the one that has taken it all. He's already the champion in WWE, and every other title can fight to be in the number 2 position." Heyman went on to say that between Reigns' strength and his own tactical mind, Lesnar doesn't have any chance at WrestleMania, and said that the two will work to make sure Brock loses the title today at his defense inside Madison Square Garden. Tonight's title match inside the Garden will be taped and filmed, and if Reigns and Heyman get their way, a new WWE champion will be crowned very soon. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.